This is a video of obviously celebrating our 5th anniversary of StudyNow. We incorporated on the 9th of November 2020.
It started with a major question: why does studying abroad have to be so complicated?
We started off in London, where I'm based at the moment, in our headquarters, and now we're in multiple destinations around Africa and the Middle East, which is Turkey.
Now, the whole essence of StudyNow is to ensure that international education is accessible to all students, that the process is much more simple, less studious, and also transparent. And the major goal for us is to ensure that students are able to achieve their study abroad dreams without getting lost in the process.
I joined StudyNow in April 2022. During that time, it was a new field for me, so this education sector. Within a year, I moved on to regional manager to basically head the project that we had running in Africa. So this will cover countries such as Nigeria, Ghana, and Kenya.
In the early phase, I think the major thing for us was the impact that we were giving to students, and the fact that, students would always come to us and, they're always happy with the outcome for every successful application, every successful offer letter that they get, visa approval. So, these were all the things that actually motivated us and also, impacted the work that we do to also do more, because we understand that, with us, students are able to achieve their dreams.
The first time I came across StudyNow, the aim was very simple. It's to help as many people as possible have access to quality education abroad. I've known them and worked closely with them for many years now, and I think that has shifted a bit. The aim is now not just about providing quality education for people abroad, it's about empowerment. It's not just about getting them into that country, it's more about helping them settle in the country. It's more about helping them succeed in that country and helping them thrive. And we've been able to build a community that's helping people with the right access to information, with the right way of choosing a course, getting admission, getting your visas, and moving to the country of their dreams.
Okay, so in the early days, I actually joined StudyNow April 2023, and when we joined, it was a small team. I think we were about 7 in the UK office, and we had about 3 team members in Nigeria. And I know currently in the UK, we've actually moved office spaces like thrice already, and then people were wearing like multiple hats during that period as well, because it was a small team, and we're still trying to learn as well.
When I started at StudyNow, there was a structure, but the structure was not well defined. And ever since we got our operations team, I think that has helped define our structure and our way going forward. Also, when I started StudyNow, there was no much of digital marketing, so the brand was not very, very publicized.
I would say it's been an interesting journey ever since I joined StudyNow. Before I joined, I got a chat from the director, Awab, and the question he asked was, do you want to take on something more interesting? And the first question in my mind was, what else could be more interesting? Because I was coming from a world where everything was happening. But I would say the promises he made were really, really substantiated, and it's been an interesting time working with StudyNow.
Over the years, the team has come to grow. We have several branches, Nigeria, we have in Lagos and Abuja and Port Harcourt. We also have in Kenya, Turkey. So the team is really growing now. And I think right now we are probably about 66 employees. So you can tell that the team is really growing, and it's such a close-knit culture as well.
The growth of StudyNow in the digital space since I joined has been massive and excellent.
I would say that what makes StudyNow unique is the fact that the culture is amazing. That is one thing that has stood out for me over time. Now, I would give an example. At StudyNow, everybody is regarded equal. It doesn't mean that, oh, because I'm an intern or because I'm a junior staff, I will be treated lesser.
Everyone brings something different to the table: uniqueness, creativity, boldness, love, care, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, we are all here for one purpose. And what's the purpose? To be successful at everything we do.
What that simply means is everybody's treated equally, everybody is willing to work as a team. We all actually come together to assist one another.
I'll tell you this for a fact. Fear has died in me since joining StudyNow, and this is what I mean. Oftentimes we always have to second guess ourselves. You're wondering, am I able to do this? Am I capable? Can I achieve this? Can I achieve that? And then sometimes some concepts look so big, so vague that you're wondering, how do I go about it? But now I've learned in StudyNow that asking the right people the right question gives you an edge above every other person.
With the structure StudyNow has put in place, it ensures that every student you come across experience an exceptional customer service journey, which helps us in turn to help them realize their dreams of studying abroad. What motivated me to keep going in the early phase when I joined StudyNow was the team spirit. It is difficult to come into a space where everyone is passionate about their job and what they're doing, and you would not be motivated.
So I would say what kept me motivated is hard work, focus, and determination. I think what motivated me, the first thing is the students themselves. I think for every testimonial that we get, it's quite encouraging to see that we are helping to change people's lives. Also, motivation from the team as well. StudyNow is actually a very supportive team, from the management to all staff. So I think it's quite worth it to see that, every late night is actually worth the effort.
I believe as an ex-international student myself, has gone through the whole, process of getting my visa and then coming to study here in the UK. I've used, my experience and the knowledge I've gained here at StudyNow to better, impact the processes of new students coming to study here in the UK and other countries.
And I think the major thing who we're working for is actually for the students. And if they're happy, they're able to achieve their dreams, I think it also makes us happy as well to see that people are putting their faith in us and we are also able to deliver. Every student success story inspires me every day because it reminds me of what I love to do.
One thing I love most about being a part of student success stories is when the student comes to the realization that their dreams are actually within reach.
I think this is very exciting actually. It feels as if it's one of my family members that have succeeded.
When a student sends you a thank you message, when a student receives their visa, when the student sends you a message from a new city, it's deeply fulfilling and humbling.
I've had a couple of students who would send me their pictures at the campus and I'm like, oh my God. Yes, so it's one thing I really, really look forward to, that students are able to complete their enrollment, students are able to thrive in their courses and also come out as outstanding students. So the ever-changing immigration policies, I remember during that period, counselors had a bit of an issue with the inquiries because the first thing they needed to do was to try and convince students as to why they should study abroad. And I think during this period as well, there were a lot of immigration changes when it came to the UK. So it's one thing for you to convince the student as to why before you now start the proper counseling as to what course they can take, the institution and things like that. And I think even for the visa compliance team as well, they took applications more serious, just to ensure that students don't get a refusal, even in terms of like visa processing as well. Things were a bit more stringent as well. So they just try to ensure that, for every student that we work with, we shouldn't let like these immigration policies affect us. We should do our counseling properly, ensure that for every application that we are submitting, there won't be any like rejections, and even for visa approvals as well, just ensuring that, everything is being done correctly, just to avoid any visa rejections as well. But I think the team were able to handle this well as well. It was a bit exhaustive. And I think one of the major things that actually helped as well was the fact that, we did have a CRM system that could help us monitor, the stages of every student as well. And that even helped to make the application a bit more seamless.
I'll say Nigerian students are the students that we predominantly work with and help study abroad, because when you think about this space in general, Nigeria is one of the biggest markets. So you're talking about top 3 in the world. So China, India, Nigeria, these countries are notoriously known as the most when it comes to international students that tend to study abroad. So of course, the increase in the Naira was something that we saw as potentially being an issue and affecting the amount of students that we could successfully enroll into further studies.
When I joined initially, our marketing was at a comfortable equilibrium where everything seems to be working fine, but then there was a need for us to, tilt higher a little bit more. And we needed, to make really serious strategic decisions at that point in time. It was quite challenging having to understand what has been done, what was working, what needed to be done for the next phase. And there was a lineup of interesting projects, collaborative projects with our sister company, Platinum Services in the UK. We had the Pi collaborative project to work on. And there was need for us to also understand what our journey moving forward would be like, to take us from being just a regular agency to being the solution provider that the students need.
One challenging period that the team faced was last intake, September 2025. September intake is the largest intake for UK education, and that means that a lot of students are trying to get into the United Kingdom to begin their studies. However, the UKVI decided to tighten up their credibility checks, so a lot of our students were being invited for credibility interviews. So that means that the team had to step up to prepare the students. And another thing we also had to do was that we had to make sure that even students that were not getting the interviews were being prepared for cases where they would be invited. So what that meant for us was that apart from the workload that we had, the team also had to designate some time to make sure that we attend to our students and prepare them very well. And I am so glad to say that majority of our students who were invited for these UKVI credibility interviews passed successfully. And that is a testament to the fact that in StudyNow, we're doing a very great job to ensure that our students from start to finish are being supported through the whole process.
Okay, so memorable moment in StudyNow. There's been a lot. I will not lie. There's been a whole lot.
In as much as we work hard, there's always time to have fun. There's always time for us to always laugh.
So I think the trip to Kenya was a very memorable moment, right? Because it got us to be in the same space from different countries, different walks of life, bonding, getting to know one another, putting a face to a name. So yes, I think the trip to Kenya was a very memorable moment for me.
And I think one of my fun memories is on my birthday when we had the chance to go for a boat cruise after having like a feast in the office and all. And we had lots of fun, having a very hectic week, and it falls on a Friday, and we had the time to have fun on the boat cruise. It was really exciting. It was fun. It was the time to bond with the team members, just take off the stress. And it actually led to a wonderful weekend.
I do not have, one particular funny office moment, as I do not stay in any of the offices in Nigeria, but I have a very closely knitted relationship with almost everyone at StudyNow. And there's always good banter, There's always flow of laughter when we're together, when we travel. You know, there were at airports, at hotels, at conference centers, even when I visit their offices, there's always good banter, everybody laughing, you know, and I think that's one of the joys, that's one of the highs of working with, you know, a brand like StudyNow UK. It's always excitement and lots of fun. I mean, we're very serious-minded people as well, but, you know, it has to be a balance, and they provide me with that.
How it feels to work here. So you know that for those that watch football, right? There's a particular club that has a certain saying, you will never walk alone. Guess what? That's how it feels to work here, because you are never alone. There's always somebody holding your hand at every point in time. So the team spirit is amazing. The growth is great.
The fact that you can share every single situation with one person or the other. The fact that you have people that would show you love. You have people that would be there and also guide you when it comes to the aspect of the job.
The team spirit is great. Leadership is amazing. Leadership is one thing that is very key. And if leadership is not amazing, the team cannot be great. And guess what? The leadership at StudyNow makes everything so easy for you as a staff member.
StudyNow has been very, very supportive when it comes to international admissions for students. A quick flashback to April, when we gave out about 6 scholarships to students for the undergraduate and postgraduate program. And this is actually one of our ways in just making international education accessible to students that, you know, don't have the funds to go ahead. And with this scholarship campaign, this is something that we plan on doing, you know, continuously every year. In fact, right now we're even trying to partner with a charity in Nigeria as well.
Not so many agencies will give scholarship to students.
And, you know, this is just for us to show you that we care about education and every individual. And just because you might not have the financial, capacities today doesn't mean you won't be able to study abroad. And I think this is just one of our ways to give back to the society as well.
And one other thing that I think we had to do was to ensure that we not only tried to sell our services to the students, but we gave them much more than they expected or would ever even imagine that they needed. And which made us to, you know, first off, redefine our brand. We had to redefine our brand and all in, you know, the visuals relating to our brand, which was like one of the first interesting projects I worked on. And that's, you know, sets a tone for our direction moving forward. And with that, we've been able to have, you know, amazing results with our events. We had 2 core events that broke, you know, the existing records. And much more importantly, we're able to collaborate with organizations like Dubai to really write opinion articles that spoke much more about what the trend in the industry, you know, is.
When you're working with a visionary leader, you can tell that the next 5 years is going to be greater than even where we are at the moment. StudyNow is a place where dreams are nurtured and grown. One thing I can say about StudyNow is growth. Everyone that steps into StudyNow has recorded a certain level of growth from the time of entry to the point where they are at the moment.
I wish I can say that all dreams come true. I wish I was, you know, just Joseph with the coat of many colors. But I really want StudyNow to be the biggest study abroad corporation or study abroad firm out of, you know, Africa.
I think there's so many beautiful things that would happen in the future, especially for StudyNow. And as of now, I think StudyNow is well or strategically positioned to leverage on every opportunity that comes in the future. Of course, it's still a work in progress, but as regards how efficient the people are, the system is, and the process, which there's a lot of continuous improvement that works around that, I think we are well positioned to leverage every opportunity that comes with the future.
My dream is to see StudyNow becoming the leading and trusted study abroad brand in Nigeria, known for integrity, excellence, and student success.
Congratulations StudyNow on its 5th anniversary, a fantastic achievement driven by passion and teamwork. Wishing everyone many more successful years ahead.
For 5 years, StudyNow has specialized in replacing student uncertainty with absolute clarity and confidence. We don't just secure acceptance, we cultivate future leaders. Our impact is a ripple effect of success felt by one student, their family, and their community, not a number. Driven by this proven commitment to individual transformation, we recently opened our East Africa branch to bring global opportunities to a new region that has an appetite for education.
Congratulations to all my staff, to everyone that's been here with us through this journey, and I can't wait to see what we're going to look like in the next 5 years from now, and hopefully the next video would be the 10-year anniversary, talking about tripling or quadrupling what we have at the moment in terms of locations and staff and everything that we're doing great at StudyNow. But yeah, good luck to everyone, of course, and I wish everyone a good journey together with us at StudyNow.
Don't study later.
Study now.